What's up, everyone? Welcome. This is round two. We still haven't figured out the exact cadence of the timing of these, but I am doing live shows here on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Kick, and we're going to have a rundown like this. Maybe I'll make it like nice at some point. We're going to go through topics. I am going to share free plays, but if you guys have been tuning in general, usually I go live and we talk about plays of the day. We talk about free bets, things like that, and we will do some of that. But I'm not going to be doing quite as much of that focus today. As we're going to go through topics, we're going to do some actual content here. Maybe we clip some of it up. Maybe you get a good comment in, and I do react to it. Whatever. And ultimately, we're going to be able to share some of what I'm doing here with you guys. Meaning, if you want to contribute some topics, you want to contribute some stuff to react to, ultimately, yeah, I'm gonna include that. So excited for this. We have the topics out here. We're gonna get into it. I'm giving it a second while people gather, and we get in here. And shout out to everyone on the TikTok. We're doing this on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, Twitter, all of that primarily. Where you should be able to see my screen. And that's the reason why. So anyone who wants to tune in there, but I'll keep it here. We'll interact with comments as much as we're capable of doing. And that's how this is about to go down. So one of the main topics that we're going to have on here, and we gotta figure out what's going on right now. Technical difficulties right off the bat. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. Jack Brown says, "What's the plays today?" All the plays are up on SoBet. We are going to share some free plays throughout this. That's going to be one of the segments. But the segments that we have lined up for today are going to be "Who Do We Hate?" featuring Shedeur Sanders. That's going to be a topic every single time. You guys know I'm a hater. We're going to have some haterade going on in this. One of the other things we're going to have in there is the rumors around JJ Watt unretiring. Okay. We're going to talk about what was said about Luka, his revenge game, the comments about his drinking habits, his beer habits. We're going to share a free play. We're going to share a prop of the day, and then we're also going to talk about betting on the Epstein list. I made a video about this already for people that saw that, but that's going to be something going on as well. Dixie says JJ Watt is corny. I agree. JJ Watt almost made it to the Who Do We Hate Today list. Without further ado, let's get into the show. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate the love. We're going to get into this, and I'm going to leave it here, and you can interact whenever. And I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys share it. I hope you guys interact. And we're going to keep doing this. And when we get like a solid schedule for everything, I'll let you know exactly how it's going on. We'll clean up some of the graphics. We'll figure out the cadence of this. But appreciate everyone who's here as part of the more experimental phase before this becomes the greatest show to ever grace the earth. Okay, you guys get the idea. Zach Peck shouted out, "Be better." You know what? I like "Be Better." I'll give free promo to "Be Better." Now, who do we hate? Featuring Shedeur Sanders. So Shedeur Sanders will not be throwing in the NFL Combine, which is tomorrow, by the way. The NFL Combine starts tomorrow. Were people prepared for that? Are people ready? The NFL Combine starts tomorrow, and then pretty soon after that, we're going to have the NCAA pre-tournament, the conference tournaments. We're going to have the Tokyo MLB series right before March Madness. So the MLB actually begins in about 3 weeks, which is another reason to lock in on SoBet and get all the plays every single day. And then we're into March Madness, and you know how that goes. Rolls right into MLB, and we keep stacking coins week over week, over month, over month, for month. So let's lock in. Now, Shedeur Sanders will not be participating in the NFL Combine. Sure, fine. A lot of people don't do that these days. Caleb Williams didn't do it. He got drafted first overall and win Rookie of the Year despite being minus money odds. That's fine. But what is Shedeur Sanders doing instead? Jack Ron says, "Can we put De'Aaron Fox on the segment?" Maybe we can. I appreciate the feedback. Maybe we can. What is Shedeur Sanders doing instead of participating in the NFL Combine? I'm going to tell you. Shedeur Sanders is working on another music project. Shedeur Sanders, who came out with his first single this past year, Perfect Timing, chose the timing of the NFL Combine to work on his next music project. He said, "I can't throw this weekend. I actually have to record a song." And why do you have to do it right now, Shedeur? Because one, I have to imagine the hype around the fact that he has to work on this music project instead the NFL Combine is going to send a message to record labels, to potential listeners of his music. Sure, good marketing for a musician, not for a guy that's trying to sign a massive rookie deal. But secondly, What is the song that Shedeur Sanders is recording instead of participating in the NFL Combine? He's working on a diss track. The diss track is going to feature every single team that drafts someone else before him, which could be anywhere from about 1 to 7 teams based on projections right now. So instead of saying, hey, I'm going to ball out, I'm going to have a great NFL Combine performance, I'm going to show you why I should be that #1 NFL draft pick. I'm better than Cam Ward. I'm the guy you need. He's going to say, I know you're not going to pick me, so I'm working on a diss track for you. Even if he did it afterwards, even if he said, hey, I make music, I'll do a diss track for these teams, I would kind of respect it. I would kind of respect it if that's what he was going to do. But instead of even trying, he said, I already know. I already know how this is going to go. I'm used to not getting the respect I deserve, which is crazy because he's Deion Sanders' son. He's been famous before he was born. He was famous in the womb. He was crowned in the womb, one of the greatest athletes ever. Father him. He said, I'm not getting the respect I deserve. He's going to put out a diss track for every single team in the NFL that drafts someone else before him. It might just be, and also it might just be one verse. He might go #2 after Cam Ward. We'll see. All right. On the NFL Combine, another note that I should bring up. Last year we had a disqualification, right? We had the fastest ever 40-yard dash recorded, but we had a player disqualified. I can't say the name anymore because of the lawsuit, but the player was disqualified. Their time did not count because after recording the fastest 40-yard dash ever, they were removed because of performance-enhancing substance, testosterone. But not like steroids. They'd taken Viagra to be able to get a full erection so that they could reach the line quicker. That's it. You got a comment saying, dude, do I shower? And the answer is no. But I appreciate the feedback. Seems like a good use of your time to come in and say that sort of thing to someone that's sharing, great detail on one of the best live shows on the internet right now. People are saying it's one of the best things out there. All right, so that's it for our haterade segment. Who do we hate today? Shedeur Sanders making a diss track instead of performing in the NFL Combine. Now, something else we have to address. JJ Watt. We have JJ Watt / Gronk on retirement. The Gronk thing was just clickbait. Gronk is not going to. Unsurprising. He's been pretty clear about this, as a matter of fact. He's not on retirement. But JJ Watt is in an interesting situation. JJ Watt made an agreement. We'll play this video here in a second. But JJ Watt made an agreement that if he owns a soccer team now, because that's the move, right? Ex-pro athletes go and buy a soccer team or whatever. I guess it makes sense. I think his wife was a really high-level soccer player. JJ Watt made an agreement with his goalkeeper, who's a big Bengals fan. He said if they don't let in another goal this season, then he'll retire and play for the Bengals, which, by the way, cool deal and everything, and I know JJ Watt, he's a Hall of Famer. He's one of the best defensive players to ever do it, but he's been retired for now. Missed a full season on the next. He looks a lot smaller. It looks like he's in shape, but not like defensive end shape. He had the whole heart thing. JJ Watt saying that if his goalkeeper, which is pretty ridiculous thing, if his goalkeeper doesn't give up another goal the rest of the season, then he'll come back and play for the Bengals as if it was his choice. But this is what's crazy. It might actually happen. That's how dominant this goaltender is. He might actually go the rest of the season without giving up another goal. I'm watching these right now. It's an English football team they bought, Burnley. I'm watching this off, part of my TikTok about it. But the goalkeeper asked him about this. He asked him if he could come back and play for the Bengals. He said, sure. Just don't give up another goal the rest of the season, and I'll do it. And he hasn't given up a goal since then. I'm pretty sure. I'm waiting to see if they share it right there. I'm pretty sure it's 7 games. Yes, 7 games, and they have how many to go? 7 games in our listen. I don't know a ton about soccer. I don't know a ton about soccer, but he's done 7 straight. 7 straight. If you can do 7 in a row or something, then you have a legit chance. Like if a team goes 7-0, I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but if a team goes 7-0, that's when you start talking. Because they run the table. That's about when people started saying that about the Chiefs, which they shouldn't. Whatever, but that's when people started saying that. So he's gone 7 in a row. I think he either needs to do 5 more for a total of 12, or he needs to do 12 more. So it's a lot, but it's very interesting to see, is he gonna be able to finish this run, not give up any goals? And then JJ Watt, if he's to be a man of his word, has to come back to the Bengals. Now, it's interesting it's the Bengals as well, because they have a terrible defense. I don't know how many teams would sign JJ Watt right now, considering what he'd have to be paid, and the fact that, as good as he was, he's been retired for a full year. I can't think of any defensive end that have been out for a full year, come back and make good. Probably be I think he could make an NFL roster for sure. Does it make sense to have him on team? Probably on the Bengals. I'm just saying, we need to get betting odds on this. We probably will get betting odds on this. And shout out to ProfitX because they usually are the ones that have betting odds on these sorts of things. If you can, as you see right here, um, they have just all your standard sports, but also you got the Oscars. You can submit things that you want. It's peer to peer, so you can get any line on anything. So we might actually get line. Um, if anyone watching this in the comments now, or if you're watching this later on, I will be checking the comments. Um, for anyone that watches the recap of this on YouTube, on Twitter, whatever. You see the final segment of the day is betting on the Epstein list, which is a real thing that we can actually do, and we can probably make a lot of money on. I think we need to get odds on JJ Watt on retirement. And also, if he starts working out because he gets close and the guy ends up giving up a goal and he doesn't have to do it, maybe he does it anyway. It's just something to think about. All right. That's it for that segment. Now we're going to go to the free SoBet play of the day, and I also have an announcement. Flashing the whole card right here. We can't have that. You know what? If you're on here, you're watching this now, congrats on getting 2 plays. This is a free SoBet play of the day. I post a full card on SoBet every single day. I do main plays, I do props. You get the full card up every single day for all of you. Every single day for all of you. We share a full card. We track our plays around the app. We went 4-0 on our NBA props yesterday, 5-2 overall. Got 2 books, could have been 7-0, but whatever. Indiana minus 5.5. Pulling up ProfitX here, see if that line has remained because we got this earlier on. But Indiana minus 5.5 is who we're riding with as our free play of the day against Penn State. Yeah, it's minus 107 right now. Indiana minus 5.5. We talked a little bit about the reasoning behind this, but effectively they've been playing with way more fired up. They've been getting after it ever since their coach said he's out. They've got past tough teams. They've been 5-2 against the spread during this gauntlet. They've been leaning on Malik Reneau, who's got 16 points per game, 57% shooting during the stretch. They've been dominating the home card, 12 wins, all by 9+. They've showed up big time against number 13 ranked Purdue. They've shown they can kind of hang with the big boys, and now they're trying to sneak their way into the tournament. State, on the other hand, nothing to play for. That matters more right now. That matters more right now when you have nothing to play for because of the NIL situation, because of the transfer portal, because players are legitimately looking at what's next. When they realize we're not going to be in March Madness, what's next? It does impact teams. It's already impacted this team. They've been terrible on the road. I like Indiana playing for something that matters. Penn State, the absolute opposite. 2 teams trending in opposite directions. We're still getting a good price on Indiana at minus 5.5. I like them here today. We're also probably going to see a little bit of public action on Penn State because of the recent performance when everyone was picking them. I think it was against Notre Dame. That's going to be factored in here as well. We've got Indiana minus 5.5. Lock it in. All right. On to the next one. Luka. So, people tuned in yesterday. He had an easy triple double. He had like 17 rebounds. He ended up with like a pretty strong box score, but it wasn't that exciting to watch. It wasn't that great a game. They didn't blow out the Mavs by any means. He didn't put up crazy numbers. I think he ended with 19 points, something like that. A very like an unimpressive by Luka terms total. I think his over under was 31.5. He's probably the best pure scorer in the NBA. It was a revenge spot against a team that they should dominate. He's got one of the best passers in the world, LeBron James, giving him the ball. Ended up 19. Not impressive, but he did have a ton of assists, a ton of boards, and they got the win. Can't really say like he failed to deliver, but from once that 3-pointer was taken away from him in the first quarter, so I think his total after the first quarter went from 10-7 or 12-9. Once that was taken away, I was looking like, oh, he might go crazy today. He might put up a 50 spot. We soon found out that was not the case. Anyway, but one of the things, and I think this is the Mavericks trying to save face, right? This is the Mavericks trying to save face after a trade that nobody can understand, that everybody's clowning them for. That even the opposition on this trade, Lakers GM talking about how they try to get the deal done as much as possible. They knew they were taking advantage of. This was a trade that, like, people are surprised they even allowed to go through. But they were able to get a deal done, and they were able to get Luka in what could be the biggest ripoff ever. Now the Mavs are trying to say negative things about him. It seems like it's one of 2 things, right? It's either to save face after getting absolutely ripped off, or it's to continue to act like they had a legitimate reason for doing it, as opposed to the fact that they're trying to team move to Las Vegas and build a casino, which is a whole different I don't even want to say conspiracy theory because there's definitely some legitimacy to it, and it's a very valid conspiracy that's actually happening. But that's what's going on. And now they're trying to say basically Luka's just like too chill a guy. That's like that's what they're saying. They're saying he likes to drink beer sometimes and he smokes hookah. Listen to me. I've never been in the NBA, but you hear these stories. You listen to any of the 400,000 podcasts that exist. Any of the 400,000 podcasts that exist uh, for NBA players to talk about their NBA experiences, whether it's in modern or whether it's in the past. And they are all going out and getting hammered consistently. Exactly, Schmeck, exactly. Consistently going out, getting hammered, being out till 2, 3, 4 a.m., and then going and playing the next day. Practice, always hungover, always something going on. That's like the whole NBA. And I know LeBron's like famously sleeping 16 hours a day, and he's got his deprivation tank and all that. Okay, sure. There's always going to be a couple of those, but most of these guys are not taking care of themselves on that level, and they probably lock in during the playoffs. They probably lock in on important spots. They figure out the way to balance it, but they're not like, oh, I'm dialed in, my nutrition's on point, everything's on point. It's an 82 game season. It's an 82 game season. It's a super not intense regular season. This is what you get. This is the expectation you get. And they're trying to say, oh yeah, Luka likes to he's supposed to hoop, he's out of shape. Bro, it looks like he's like 230 right now. He had the most minutes in the NBA last year. I'm pretty sure. Most minutes in the NBA. Obviously one of the best players in the league, one of the best scorers in the league. Dude's 25. Do you think that's not going on? It's just one of the saddest because everyone remembers the viral moment where he was having a beer after they won the Western Conference Championship, right? He was having a beer stuff and he just won the MVP for the series. And I think it was the president or the owner just took a beer out of his hand. Sad, sad. Basically saying, yeah, not just drinks beer and smokes hookah, neither of which is atypical for players in the NBA. But they don't fit Harrison's mold. I call bullshit. I call bullshit. Let's add it to who do we hate today? Put Harrison on the list. Sad. I'm happy about the trade. I don't really have any skin in the game. I think it's cool to see wild things happen, but unbelievable. All right. So we move on to our final topic of the day. Not everyone knows about this, right? I try to share one of these when we go live. A lot of crazy movement on this, by the way. But Kalshi, this is Kalshi. You can bet on anything, right? That's the concept. You bet on anything. What's happening in pop culture? What's happening? Basically anything. It's also because you're not just betting. Okay, so here we're looking at will Trump declassify Epstein documents in his first 100 days, which we're what 40 days in, so 60 days from now. Uh, it's not just will he do it? Yes, you win. No, you don't. You can buy when you're paying 56 right now, 56 cents. 56% chance, and then sell at 59, sell at 60, sell at 70, 75, 80, whatever. So you're trading. It's like live betting. Um, it's like a live betting with the intent to cash out. I actually got some in this. Just I'm on if you look at this. I bought it uh, 48, sold it 52. Just kind of experimenting here. Um, got 2 months to see if it goes down. But you're trading because you can cash out early because you can trade get in at a certain price and then get out at a different price. It's the energy of the stock market or of crypto. It's an exchange, one. Two, you're trading based on who you think the opposing liquidity is, what they think. So if you think that people are going to think it's more likely soon, you can get in at 56%, sell at 60, 70, 80%. You don't need to wait and see if it cashes or it doesn't. You can also obviously do the opposite of that. Right now it would be 44, so it's paying out more. Right now it says 56% chance, meaning if you took it to not happen, it would be plus money effectively. Um, it's just a wild world we live in. It's a wild world we live in. This is legitimately being bet on right now. We're talking about basically one of the most heinous criminal rings or behaviors or whatever that's happened in the last several years. One of the most influential, at least. And we are at this level of degeneracy. The topic is one, you can bet on who's going to be on the list, and try not to get sued as many times this year, so we don't have to get into that right now. But two, people talk about bet on anything, they mean bet on anything. And by the way, I will drop a link for this for anyone who wants to do it. It's anything. Look at this, markets forecast. You could even bet on the price of what numbers like Bitcoin will reach, who will get pardoned, tariffs imposed, etc. And it's interesting because this lends itself to insider trading so much because some people know who will win the Oscar for Best Picture. Some people definitely know. Can't get a ton of. You can get up to 4.8 million. What are the odds? Some people know the answers to this. It's not like, all right, who's going to win the NBA championship? Yeah, that's just your standard sports betting. But here, you can actually know these things and you can bet on them. And if it were insider trading on DraftKings or something like that, they would shut it down. They would capture the money. They would keep you from getting paid. That's what the books do. On Kalshi, there's an exchange. So you're just betting against the market. They don't care about anything except the volume. They want you to bet on stuff. That's how they make their cut. So there's no reason for them to shut something down. They just want you making massive bet. Someone recently, this was going around, but someone recently, they bet on whether or not a certain member of the Senate would uh, vote to confirm the new FBI director. And there was a viral quote going around that maybe this person saw themselves, but a viral quote going around saying that she would support him. It was fake. It was not a real thing. It was just a viral quote going around. Everyone thought, oh, well, she said she would. It went to 97% likelihood, according to the traders on Kalshi, that she would vote yes. But that quote was false. So this guy got in for like 4K and three made 100K off it. Unbelievable. It's a wild world we live in. Definitely some opportunities to get rich. That's it for today's show. We're going to continue to continue to get more topics. Appreciate everyone that participated, that joined in. I know if you're on the TikTok, we're more focused on the Twitch, the Twitter, the YouTube, the Kick, but I appreciate everyone who got in. I got the Telegram in there for anyone who wants to be notified about these things. That's where people hang out. I share free play in there daily. I share the full card on SoBet every single day. I'll link everything in reply to the Twitter and everything else on YouTube, wherever. It's in the links. You can't miss it. Shoot me a DM on Instagram if you got questions about anything ever. Love all you. I hate. Cheers. Indiana minus 5.5.